Hi, I'm Reed Perryman. I am VP of Sales and Marketing at RCN Technologies, producer of POTSLink, and I am here to share with you all today why POTSLink is the definitive solution for government agencies looking to replace their legacy POTS lines. Now, when I say it's the definitive solution, I want to unpack that for you, and I've got 7 good reasons as to why we fit that standard unlike any other solution on the market. Reason number 1, we built POTSLink to comply with federal guidelines issued ahead of the August 2022 sunset date for POTS replacement solutions. It's July of 2022. In 1 month, the FCC would deregulate support by the carriers to maintain copper analog networks supporting all kinds of applications in government agencies ranging from life safety and otherwise. And in that guidance, there were 2 specific sections that urged federal, state, and local customers to adhere to when selecting a POTS replacement solution. Specifically, Section 5 speaks about advanced E911 compliance. There are 3 tenets here. 1, in the foundational tenet, you have to have a solution that directly routes emergency calls to the appropriate PSAP, contact center, or E911 location. No ands, ifs, or buts. 2 is Kerry's Law. Kerry's Law states that A, you have to notify emergency personnel on site or administrative personnel on site when an emergency call is made via SMS, email, or some other means. And 2, emergency calls cannot have a requirement to dial a prefix before dialing out to 911. So no pound 911, no star 911, nothing of that sort. The third part of advanced E911 is Ray-Baum's Act. And in Ray-Baum's Act, not only are you sending location-based information with that emergency call to the PSAP or contact center, it has to go deeper than that primary service address. So an example, a building has 4 elevators. You can't just deliver up 200 Jennings Avenue, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37917. You have to say 200 Jennings Avenue, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37917, elevator 4, or maybe it's 3 or 2 or 1, but you have to send specific location-based information on that campus that notifies first responders exactly which elevator they are responding to. And if your solution can meet those advanced location reporting requirements, you comply with Ray-Baum's Act. But Section 5 of GSA's EIS guidance is all about advanced E911. Section 6 is all about solutions architecture, and there are 4 core tenets for solutions architecture that must be true about a POTS replacement solution. Number 1, you have to have a 24-hour battery backup. Number 2, you have to have an ATA to convert analog dial tone to digital IP addressable dial tone so calls can be routed to the appropriate location. 3, you have to have WAN transport diversity. What it means here is that you have to be able to connect to more than just one internet source to route those calls. In the case of POTSLink, we deploy with LTE, and we have a primary LTE network and then 2 other backup LTE networks to achieve WAN transport diversity. You could also use a wireline connection supplemented with a cellular connection or even a SATCOM connection. And then finally, the solution has to be compatible with wireless telecommunications services. In the cellular world, a couple of examples would be Verizon Frontline, AT&T FirstNet, or T-Mobile's T-Priority. But all 4 things have to be true to meet EIS's standard for a POTS replacement solutions architecture. So to drive home this point, our first point here, POTSLink was built from the ground up to adhere to both sections 5 and 6 of GSA's EIS compliance mandates to government customers, federal, state, local, to a T. We check every one of those boxes. Second reason POTSLink is the definitive solution for government agencies. It is built right here in Knoxville, Tennessee, using components entirely sourced from TAA-compliant countries. It's even included and available on the GSA Schedule 70. So governments can rest assured that POTSLink is a completely federally backed solution from a component sourcing and substantial assembly manufacturing process perspective, and there are no components included that are from unsavory countries that might not be on that TA compliant list. You can rest assured nothing from China is going into our box. The third reason that POTSLink is the definitive solution for government POTS replacement is it offers total code compliancy for agencies seeking to transform their life safety lines like elevator, fire panel, intrusion detection, and other emergency communication lines. POTSLink, of course, complies with EIS's guidelines, including advanced E911 at a foundational level, but on top of that, we meet code requirement for NFPA 72 for fire. We meet code requirement for ASME A17.1 for elevator communications, and we meet UL listing standards for both fire and intrusion. So across the board, no matter what kind of life safety line you need replaced, you can rest assured that POTSLink will have you covered from a code compliancy perspective. Reason number 4, we not only deliver code compliance, but we also deliver procurement compliance. POTSLink is all hunky-dory for government customers, that it meets all of these code regulatory regulations, but it also has to meet procurement requirements, rules, policies, and standards for those same government agencies, or frankly, it's all an exercise in futility. That is why RCN offers POTSLink to our government clients, not only on GSA, but also cooperative contracts like NASPO, Omnia Partners, Sourcewell, and Complies Group. We also offer it on some state contracts such as the state of Pennsylvania and the state of Georgia, and we have 4 more state contracts coming very soon. So in all of our 700 plus government clients, we have always managed to find a valid procurement vehicle for every single one of them. We keep them code compliant from a life safety perspective. We keep them code compliant for a procurement perspective as well. Number 5, we offer government customers financing flexibility. POTSLink is a fully managed service that's designed to emulate the way that you've paid for your POTS service for years and years and years from your legacy telecom provider. What do I mean by that? You always paid a monthly, quarterly, or annual fee for that POTS service based on your contract. With POTSLink, it's the same. We offer a monthly service per line, or you could pay quarterly, or you could pay annually, all depending on your operational budget preferences. We also have some traditional NRCs like installation that you could pay upfront if you've got the budget for it as a day one cost, or you can finance that into the monthly payments as well and not be out cash day one. We have even had government customers that finance that installation component until the start of their next fiscal year, in which they receive funds and they pay off the balance of those traditional non-recurring costs and then proceed throughout the course of their contract, only paying their per month line rate. The point is, we offer flexibility to meet the preferences from both an operational and capital expense budget perspective. And that's very important to servicing our government clients. Point number 6, it's a fully managed service. Look, POTS have always been simple. You signed a contract with a legacy carrier, And then it wasn't up to you to go connect their service to your 66 block and then make sure that those lines were operational to perform break fix services on those lines, so on and so forth. No, it was always managed for you by your carrier with SLAs. POTSLink is the same way. Once you sign a contract, our provisioning and deployment team will project manage not only building out your POTS lines, but will also manage line porting if you have to port your existing numbers. Once we have everything built, we'll send those in the hands of our certified field technicians. We'll handle the installation, the cutover, we'll QC, we'll install external antennas if needed. And then from that point, when the transformation is done, our network operations center team is monitoring, managing, and proactively tier 1, 2, and 3 troubleshooting, and technicians are truck rolling to fix your lines should outages or breakages occur that cannot be resolved remotely. Like I said, this is a fully managed service. You had Simple with your POTS lines for a long time. POTSLink gives you Simple transforming your POTS lines. You should never be managed by your POTS lines. So self-managed solutions are trying to put that burden on you. POTSLink with RCN is keeping that burden with us. Last but not least, reason number 7, we are the definitive POTS replacement solution for government agencies, is that we have a 19-day average flight time from date of signed contract to deploy POTSLink and get you fully off of your POTS lines. The industry average ranges about 45 to 60 plus days for deploying from date of signed contract. We understand with a lot of customers, your legacy carrier is turning off their wire center. You don't have a choice to wait. So we take that in stride. Our average deployment time is 19 days. It's quick, but it's efficient, it's fully managed, and then it's supported onto the life cycle of the contract. So in conclusion, I believe that there is no better solution to replace POTS lines for government customers than POTSLink. It is built from the ground up to comply with federal guidelines for solutions architecture and advanced E911 requirements, and it keeps you both code compliant from a life safety perspective and procurement compliant with our purchasing contracts. Will get you out from under your POTS lines very simply, very low touch, and will manage it for the life cycle of the contract. If you'd like to learn more about POTSLink, if you have POTS lines that you're needing to replace, whether your wire center is shutting down imminently, whether you're getting price increases from your carrier, or whether it's become a burden that you have to manage and you just want a professional company to manage that for you, there's going to be information in the description of this video. Follow that out to our website, fill out a form. We'd love to talk to you. We also have a 15-question POTS line replacement assessment that gives you a dynamic score based on your inputs that show you where your risks might sit based on what you're paying for your POTS lines today, what liability in terms of code compliance you might be incurring, and also how efficient your current POTS setup is. I encourage you to go check that out as well. I've been Reed Perryman, and again, POTSLink is the definitive solution for governments to replace their POTS lines. Thank you.